Welcome back, trainers. So the Showdown event is underway. If you do not know, there is a new event happening right now featuring fighting Pokemon as well as a new charge move for a few Pokemon, which we're going to be going over. Now, is it going to benefit them? So let's go ahead and discuss that. This new power-up punch is absolutely amazing. You will get an attack boost of 25% every time you use it, not 10%. Not 50% of the time, 100% of the time, you will get that attack boost. So let's go ahead and go over this and see what we have going on here. Alright, so we have all the Pokemon that can currently learn Power Up Punch in Pokemon Go pulled up here. Primeape, Poliwrath, Hitmonchan, Kangaskhan, Medicham, and Lucario can all learn that new Power Up Punch will grant you an attack boost every time you use it. 100% of the time, that is clear at this point. So which one do you want? Well, it depends on the Pokemon, because if we look at Hitmonchan, it can't learn Dynamic Punch, so it's a clear obvious you're going to go with Power Up Punch. Personally, for me, this was the Boulder Cup setup here. I'm probably going to remove Fire Punch and put that Power Up Punch on there because, my gosh, we're going to look at some PvP battles with Chirk here in a moment, my sparring pal, and God, this move is just absurd. He knew I was using Lucario, but he didn't pick hard counters for all of the types that he was using. You know, he picked a couple here and there, which is great because you want that kind of field when you're doing these tests, not just an easy win. Oh yeah, Power Punch is amazing. Oh, because you went up against Pokemon that are not super effective towards you. So you'll see here in just a moment. So if you take a look at Medicham, Dynamic Punch is great, right? It's a fantastic move. Is this something you're going to be using going up against raids? Not really. You're going to be using Medicham for PvP, basically. And Dynamic Punch is great, fantastic, but this is the thing. Power Up Punch will be buffing your attack 25% every time you use it. So his other fighting type move, if we just swipe over here, Close Combat, no contest whatsoever. All right, it's a clear obvious you want to be using Power Up Punch, especially if you're in PvP, and that's where it's going to shine more. This new move, Power Punch. It's not going to be too great going up against raids. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still fantastic. But there's other Pokemon like Machop with Dynamic Punch, which is still going to be outperforming it. And if you were going into a raid with Lucario Close Combat, I think Power Up Punch might be a little bit better. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. So if you're going to consider doing this, Machop can't learn it, so you don't have to worry about that. Primeape is going to absolutely benefit from this. Here is a Pokemon that can learn Dynamic Punch as well as Power Up Punch. Something right here that you're going to be using to go up against raids, you know, possibly here and there once in a while for some sort of unique challenge, but for the most part, you're picking your Machamps. So your Poliwrath is probably going to be used more for PvP, in which case you definitely are going to want Power Up Punch, okay? It's just absolutely amazing. You're going to see here in just a moment. It charges super quick, energy gain is super low, and counter, as a quick move, is just fantastic as it is. And then if you look at Kangaskhan over here, I mean, you put Power Up Punch on this thing, and my gosh, are you kidding me? This is crazy, guys. This move is really OP. It's not to the point where I don't know quite yet. We'll have to see more battles, more people coming forward and talking about it to see what the results are. But for the short amount of time that I used it, it performs absolutely stunning. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy I have this Lucario. So with that said, it's a great move. Don't have the numbers here for you. I pretty much told you the percentages though. 100% of the time you will get the attack buff on all of your moves. It's not just, oh, Power Punch is buffed. Your Pokemon in general is buffed. So all the moves are doing more damage. But if you do switch, those buffs do dissipate and they just go away. So make sure once you're out there, you get the buffs, ride it out. Ride it out to the end. If you get a couple buffs up, use your shield, possibly, maybe, depending on the situation, to keep that Lucario train going with that buff or whatever Pokemon you're using. Honestly, I think Medicham is going to perform much better with it because it is completely maxed out and it is going to be able to have its full potential with level 40, right? And in the Great League. And getting an attack buff. Okay, wow. So look out. Ice Punch, Psycho Cut are going to be doing extra damage as well. Jeez, this is insane. So fighting type Pokemon just got that much better because fighting type Pokemon needed a little bit of love like this. I don't know about this much love, but hey, I'll take it. I'm just happy Hitmonchan was able. I would totally TM that Fire Punch right now, but the move pool for Hitmonchan is so massive, I could just use my 2 TMs and it's over. Poof, Dustin the win. Goodbye. Yeah, so we'll wait until I have like 20 charge TMs and I'll think about changing that up. So as far as this new move goes, fantastic. I personally think it's going to perform probably the best on Medicham here, but Lucario also performs fantastic with it. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and just see it in action. Enough talking, let's go and check these battles out. So into the first battle here. Now I would and I wish I could show you a DPS comparison with Machop with counter dynamic punch and Lucario with counter and power up punch, but none of the checkers or any of the sites have been updated as of now and recording this, so I can't really give you a clear comparison quite yet, but that will be coming in the future. So down goes my Lantern and down goes his Togekiss at the same time, bringing in the Lucario here. And now let's do our power up punch and see what we have going on here. He's going to be switching immediately. I get that buff there, so we're sitting at 75% damage for the power up punch. Now we're sitting at 100. All right, and the counter is also going to be doing more damage as well. We're definitely shielding up if it's doing super effective, neutral, not very effective. We just want to preserve that Lucario, and it takes out that Muck there. Just a massive hitting move after you've charged it up like 3 times. Just like unbelievable. All right, so now we have the Plusle versus the Raichu here. We're kind of mixing it up with a bit of Tempest Pokemon as well, you know, just for that factor, because that tournament is this month as well. So the Plusle seems to be able to hold on quite well and take those hits very nicely. So I will be using my shield here. I don't know if I should have done that. I probably should have just took the Brick Break and done one more discharge and just kept my shield, right? But that's okay. So definitely not going to shield up here again. That'd just be kind of a waste because we're not going to be able to get to that discharge. In comes Lucario with the counter and finishing off that Raichu. 75% of the way to the power up punch, and there we go. And I'm not going to be very effective to that Pokemon whatsoever, so I decided to just keep going with it. Let's just see what happens here. He's going to be hitting me up with a Silver Wind there. Definitely going to shield it up. Didn't really need to do it. It's not very effective, but I want to keep as much health as I possibly can for these tests at the moment here. And that's just going to be with my best interest. So he does shield that last one. I will be taking the hit because I have no more shields left. And I do have a couple buffs. And in comes Seadra, and I'm going to immediately hit it up with Power Up Punch, and I got a few counters in, which, jeez, look at, did you see that? I know it's a Seadra, but, you know, that thing is not horrible or anything. So starting off with the Persian, that's not Tempest, so just using that for fun. He's going in there with the Beedrill, with that Legacy Bug Bite, doing a lot of damage. I will be shielding that up because my Scratch does so much. I usually tend to shield one time with my Persian, seeing that I can definitely not get off a charge move if you don't do so otherwise. That Beedrill having barely any health, in comes with Lucario and just knocks it out there. In comes Toxicroak, he's ready, and I bail out immediately. Nope, I cannot fight a Toxicroak with Lucario, no way. Alright, so I bring out my Lugia here, he's bringing in the Graveler. Not good. Alright, so I did bait his shield there, and I can possibly go for Wing Attack, or should I say Sky Attack, but it's not going to do any damage whatsoever. So I decide to just go ahead and go for the Hydro Pump. Maybe he's not going to shield, but no, he definitely shields that one up. He's in a good position. Why wouldn't you? All right, so he hits me up with that Rock Slide. Down goes my Lugia. In comes Lucario. I'm just going to go ahead and finish off. Here's where I messed up. Should have went for Shadow Ball. But I'm thinking, oh, I want to see the cool power-up animation. Then down I go. All right, so in next battle, we have Steelix versus Parasect. He will be retreating, bringing in Seadra. It's going to be a pure water type, holding that Dragon Breath, which is quite amazing. So take note of that. It's a very good Pokemon for the Great League. We do have Dragon Tail doing neutral damage to it, and we're not going to be shielding up and just hitting it right back with Crunch. He will be going for the shield there, and down I go. Going to bring Lucario in, of course, and see what we can do with Power Punch again. So he's bringing in the Clefable, very good, perfect. That is going to be a Fairy type, not very effective by the fighting moves. He will be shielding up, though, to preserve his health. I still get the buff nonetheless, so also take note of that. You will get your buffs if your opponent does shield. Hitting me back with Dazzling Gleam, definitely going to be shielding that up to preserve as much health on the Lucario as possible. And he does get that Meteor Mash fairly quick. We're going to be going for that Power Punch, already buffed up several times at this point, doing massive damage. In comes the Parasect, and we have the Power Punch Not very effective because it's bug type, but that doesn't matter because it's so strong, it's just eating right through it. So yeah, that's another good game there. Now this is pretty laggy here. You're going to see I don't get any energy. Charizard's just kind of sitting there, but that's perfectly fine because all I really wanted to do these battles for was to get the rewards and help him get his rewards as well, and to test out the Lucario in the process, in which I did. And I'm super happy. This thing is awesome. Lucario needed this, and Niantic knew exactly what they were doing, releasing it without, you know, a 2-charge bar move anywhere. Well, it does have Shadow Ball, but not a stab move. Now it has a 3-charge bar, making it absolutely fantastic, and just giving it that buff is just a killer. So we're looking great, guys. Lucario is something you definitely want. Hatching them, I know, can be a pain in the butt. Just keep trying and see what you can do. Maybe there's a couple people out there that you can trade with and get it that way. So possibly for this event, they'll increase the odds of you seeing them. Let me know in the comments if that's happened to you. So I personally have hatched 2 10Ks and received not Riolu, but I did hatch a shiny Cleffa. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have that in another video sometime. So anyways, thank you for watching, trainers. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time.